Hi, thank you so much for signing up to be a pumpkin cashier. Pumpkin Patch would not be possible without you and your sacrifice of time. I wanted to go over a couple of things with you so that your shift is as successful as possible. Before I do that, I just want to remind you what our vision is for Pumpkin Patch. More important than the fundraising that we're doing to support our internal ministries and missions is the impression we're making on the community. So be sure that you have fun, that you smile, that you welcome our guests as they come up and ask questions, that you wish them a blessed day when they leave. The whole thing should be a positive experience for them and their children, and just to remind them that Foundation is a destination for their family. So just keep that in mind while you're doing all of this nitty-gritty stuff. You'll notice there are two binders, and these are the most important things that you need to keep track of during your shift. You'll notice that one says cash only and one says debit credit. It is really important that your transactions are kept separate for our tracking and to help Richard know what monies that are coming in online are designated for us. So before you start writing anything down for a customer, you need to be sure that you ask them ahead of time if they're paying by cash or by credit. First, notice there's a very important sheet of paper. Before you do anything, your first shift of the season, read through this. It will keep you from making some pretty serious errors that cost us money. But if all they've brought up to you is a bulk pumpkin, you've asked how they're paying by cash, you're in the right binder. The ring goes around the stem. If the pumpkin they've brought does not have a stem, that's okay. Just hold it in the center and hold it with your hand. But you're gonna bring the tape around the bottom, and it needs to be pretty well centered, or else you're gonna overcharge or undercharge them. So you can see that the arrow is pointing to the stem, so this pumpkin would be $10, right? If it ends up halfway in between, then use your best judgment if it's $12 or $11, because some of them are a little bit less clear. So just go with the nearest arrow or pick a number in the middle. But so here's an example. We had someone this morning buy 8 pumpkins and gourds, so this customer would only be one, and we said it was $10. There are no tickets for sale for most shifts. These are for activities like pumpkin painting or hay rides, things like that. So on most shifts during the week, you're not gonna have to worry about that. Stickers. If a family comes up with a child and they buy a smaller pumpkin, just offer them and say, would you like a sticker sheet for 50 cents? Most of the time they'll say yes, so we'll say that this parent did say yes. So I'll say 1 stick, and that's 50 cents. So now I add them together. No one bought any tickets. So it's $10.50, and then be sure that you initial so that I can go back if I have any questions for whoever was signed up for that shift. After you've filled it out, you tell them the total. They might hand you $20 and say keep the change. If they do that, that's considered a donation, and you're gonna have to come back into the donation column and add that. We can't just say, don't adjust it over here, because we're allowed to keep 100% of any tips or any donations. So if someone did that after the fact, and you have to go back and adjust. So that's a really good tip. So that would be a donation of $9.50. And you'd have to adjust that. So the big total would turn into 19. I know that's messy because I'm with a marker, but you get the idea, okay? So that would be that, but we still know what we owe to the pumpkin company. So if they paid by debit, it's a little bit different, but the idea is still the same. It is simple. I have all of the instructions for you here in the binder, including the code for the app. So you just open up. The app should be, so it's the Vanco app. Ignore that. And if it asks you to sign into my iTunes, just cancel that. That's not what you need right now, just because. But you sign in. So let's look again what that total was. This is if they are not paying by cash, okay? But we'll say the same person who bought a $10 pumpkin and 50-cent stickers. So I go to the pumpkin patch section. I type in $10.50. Please be really careful that your decimal point is in the right place. We had a couple of transactions last year where someone owed $20 but ended up paying 20 cents. So be really careful that you've got all of your decimal points in the right place before you hit next. And you'll either swipe their card with the strip facing away from you, or you'll hit manual entry. If it gives you trouble and it's not swiping, go ahead and hit manual. It's not that difficult. You just have to look at their card and ask them what their zip code is, and then hit next again. It will give you a signature page, hand it off to them, let them sign, and then click next. And it will let you know when it's done. When it processes completely, you can just hit new transaction and it will take you back to this page, and then you can just save the battery like that. This page that I talked about before, it has my cell number and Clinton's cell number. If you have any problems, need to troubleshoot something, need to report damage, anything at all, just give us a call and we can help you with that and let you know what to do, or contact someone else that can come out and offer assistance. A couple things to remember: never leave the cash box unattended. So if you're by yourself, need to go to the bathroom, you need to take that with you, and the iPad as well. I would suggest checking the Sign Up Genius the morning of the shift that you signed up for. And if you see that you're alone, pick up your phone and call a friend and say, hey, I need you to come sit with me for an hour. It's more fun with two people, it's safer with two people, and that way one of you can man the cash box while the other one is offering assistance in the patch. Our customers really appreciate that also. The last shift of the night is going to have to bring in some items to the foyer. I will be sure to contact those of you that are in that position to verify with you and confirm, but the gist of it is the cash box and iPad get stuck in the office, and either Clinton or myself or someone else will come up to be sure that the church is locked up and to enter the sales. If for some reason we can't, we'll get with you directly to let you know what you're responsible for. But thank you so much again for helping with Pumpkin Patch and supporting us, and I'll see you soon.